Welcome to my presentation on the impact of current teaching practices and strategies on student life and health learning outcomes at Zibo Vocational Institute, China. This research examines the relationship between innovative teaching strategies and student outcomes, particularly in context of health education. My goal today is to present an in-depth analysis of how teaching practices, ranging from content delivery to assessment methods, impact students' health, literacy, and life outcomes. I will cover various aspects of the study, including the abstract introduction, problem statement, research objectives, methodology, and conclusion. The integration of health and life science curricula at vocational colleges in China is the driving force behind this investigation. Primarily derived on surveys given to 379 students at Zibo Vocational College. The data provides valuable insights into the students' viewpoints and life experiences. The findings showed that vocational college students benefit greatly from health and life skills classes. This research contributed to the advancement of China's vocational education system by outlining concrete strategies for the integration of health and life sciences into technical universities' curricula. The need for more targeted and efficient methods of instruction, especially in the field of the vocational education, has been brought to light by the fast development of educational systems around the world. A common metric for evaluating educational materials is how well they equip students to face the demands of the working world. The wide variety of student learning styles poses a challenge for traditional lecture-based methods, which may result in student disengagement and less than ideal learning outcomes. Keeping students interested and motivated requires engagement tactics that encourage critical thinking and active participation. Despite the widespread agreement that digital health technologies are revolutionizing healthcare education, very little is known about how these tools are influencing course offerings at China's most prestigious vocational universities. The implementation of these tactics and their effects on students' engagement and competency development required further research. The literature emphasized that health education faces the problem of successfully combining theoretical knowledge with practical abilities. Innovative methods of connecting student life and health learning outcomes, theory and practice practices deserve further investigation. Research objectives. 1. To evaluate the impact of the current teaching practices on student life and health learning outcomes at the Vocational Institute, China. 2. To assess the influence of teaching strategies on student life and health learning outcomes at the Vocational Institute, China. 3. To examine the mediating role of teaching specialization in the relationship between current teaching practices and student life and health learning outcomes at the Vocational Institute, China. 4. To investigate the mediating role of specialization in the relationship between teaching strategies and student life and health learning outcomes at the Vocational Institute, China. Literature review. Developments in areas of vocational education in the 21st century have been notable changes that have taken place in several educational institutions. The concept of vocational education generally tends to shed considerable light on the practical aspects of working to a significant extent that leads to better understanding and working in the contemporary technically effective society. Officials from the World Health Organization have very significantly shed light on the working conditions of the general public in implementing and making themselves a part of the working committees that would enable a proper management of related to health issues and other in this context. The realization has spread throughout the country. An increased emphasis is being placed on the incorporation of health education into vocational training curricula. Theoretical framework. Constructivist learning theory posits that learners actively construct their own understanding and knowledge of the world through experience and reflecting on those experiences. Constructivist principle advocate for a curriculum that encourages students to engage deeply with the materials through hands-on activities, problem-solving tasks, and collaborative projects. Social cognitive theory, development by Albert Bandura, provides a comprehensive framework for understanding human behavior and learning processes, making it highly relevant for examining student life and health learning outcomes as a dependent variable. Students learned not only through direct instruction, but also by observing the behaviors, attitudes, and outcomes of others within their educational environment. Conceptual framework. The conceptual framework of this study links teaching practices, teaching strategies, and specialization to student life and health learning outcomes. It demonstrates how effective teaching strategies, when integrated with specialized content, learned to improve health education outcomes. The framework also highlights the mid-80 rule of specialization, suggesting that focused areas of study enhance the impact of teaching practices. This framework guides the research by providing a structured approach to analyze the relationship between these variables, aiming to offer insights into improving health literacy and outcomes at vocational institutions. Methodology. The necessity for scientifically sound, quantifiable, and objective understanding of the mid-80 rule of specialization in the relationship between instructional method and result is the driving force behind this decision. The Institute broad and rich student body of over 26,000 full-time students provide an ideal setting in which to study how different pedagogical approaches affect student achievement. The questionnaire comprised 4 sections: current teaching practices, teaching strategies, specialization, and student life and health learning outcomes. Current teaching approaches and student life and health learning outcomes were examined by a linear regression analysis, which reveals that content delivery methods and assessment techniques significantly influence student health outcomes. Student health and life outcomes as learning outcomes are the dependent variables in this model, with instructional methodologies serving as an independent variable. The analysis reveals that all these strategies have a significant positive impact on student health learning outcomes. Correlation analysis shows that specialization strengthens the positive relationship between teaching practices and health outcomes. The findings reveal that specialization significantly enhances the impact of teaching strategies on student engagement and learning outcomes. These studies results highlight the importance of instructional techniques and practices in shaping the vocational institute students' lives and health-related learning outcomes. Evidence suggests that a high level of specialization and the use of effective teaching practices are crucial for producing desirable educational outcomes. Insights from this study can help educators and policymakers improve health and life skills education, which in turn helps students graduate with the skills they need to succeed in their careers and personal lives. The reference slide lists the academic sources and research studies cited throughout the presentation. This concludes my report. Thank you for listening.